you grew up in a very predominantly Asian neighborhood of Diamond Bars. Would you say so?
You know what? Here's the funny thing. Okay, so this is gonna date me a little bit. I've lived in Diamond Bar all my life, and my parents were like, they're very, very early on. And so when I was really, really young, we were like one of the only Asian families there. So believe it or not, those of you who know Diamond Bar, it's like overrun by Asians now, but there were actually like just a handful of us like growing like very, very early on. And then they just started coming in. So by the time I got to junior high, like half my class was Asian already. And so when I was in high school, you know, it was definitely, I think more than half my class was like, actually in the honors classes, I'd say like 80% of us were Asian.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I went to Marquette High School, which is a lot of Asians as well. Also, I wanted to ask you about just kind of growing up in Diamond Bar, growing up in the San Gabriel Valley. How do you think that influenced your music?
That's an interesting question. I don't think I've ever been asked that. So, good one. Stumping Larissa. No.
Yay, high five.
All right. Well, I think that, well, first of all, you know, talking about being one of the only Asian kids, I mean, the early days, I got to like have this complex where I wanted to be blonde hair and blue eyed. And so, but you know, honestly, like being the only, you know, Asian kid when I was really, really young, and I remember being made fun of, you know, like, hey, do you know Kung Fu? And like, it's like, and people would do the ching chong thing, and you're like, that's, you know, stupid. Or they just would make different things, or you would always think like, okay, well, like all the popular girls were blonde and blue eyed, or, you know, or just not Asian. And then the guy that you liked was white, but then he liked all the white girls, and you know, like those types of things where it kind of can mess with your mind. So I think in that sense it has informed my songwriting, but then also seeing the cultural shift in San Gabriel Valley and seeing like it being so diverse that's certainly something that I often write about, is kind of songs that are empowering of, you know, the identity and, you know, making sure, like, for instance, I have a song on my new album, Love and Discovery, called Change. And it was, you know, you've heard the stories about the Asian women, like, who get the double eyelid surgery, or like the other things, like, you know, where they really want the plastic surgery, so they want the higher nose or lighten up their skin. And it just really kind of breaks my heart that as Asians that we want to look like white people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I know some people think I look mixed, but I mean, to my knowledge, I'm 100% Chinese. But, you know, the fact is, it's like that song's about, you can change your face, you can change your name, you can change everything about you on the outside, but that doesn't mean whatever's going on inside is going to change that.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, I kind of, you know, being hammered by like the double eyelid, you know, surgery, especially with Asian women.
Right.
You know, I thought about it too, and I was like, no, you know, I was born with single eyelids, and I think I should be proud of that.
Well, and the worst part is, it's like a lot of times people think like, oh, well, that's the pressure that's being put on by like the non-Asians.
The media.
But honestly, that's one of the factors, is media and that perception, but then it's also our own people. That's the part that breaks my heart even more, is that you have aunties and uncles and, you know, family friends that are like, oh, you're too fat, or you're, you know, like you need to lose a little bit of weight, or like, oh, why can't you look like so-and-so, she's so pretty, or, you know, like whatever that is, and that comparison in our culture. And so that just ends up feeding into everybody's self-esteem. And I'm going off, so like, I'm gonna step off the soapbox right now.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get you, because when I go to my grandma, when I visit my grandma, she's like, oh, you got fat, how much do you weigh?
And it's like you only gained like 2 pounds. It's like, I just ate an ice cream cone yesterday, Grandma. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go anorexic now. No, you know,
I really need to hit the gym.
Yeah. Well, but then that just cultivates a really unhealthy like self-image for like, you know, women, and so that ends up translating to everything else in, you know, in our lives if we don't like learn to embrace who we are and who God has made us, and, you know, love the way we look.
Yeah, and you know, thank you so much for being a powerful and influential and good role model for young Asian American women. So speaking of music career, I actually wanted to be a singer too. I have a confession.
Really?
I have that's my confession to you.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you can show us a little bit of your singing skills. I mean, singing tips.
Sure.
So teach me how to be the next K-pop star.
Next K-pop star, the next
Larissa Lam.
The next Larissa Lam. So like with the yawning, it's really important, like when you're singing, to kind of open up the back of your, you know, the back of your voice and you know, warm up. So like one really easy way to at least just stretch your back of your throat a little bit is just to yawn. So just open up really wide and go, ah.
Oh.
That's right. That's good. See, you're on your way. way, you know? Okay. And then, so, you know, you can feel that stretch in the back of your throat. So the motorboating, so that's just to kind of loosen up your lips and loosen a little bit about your vocal cords. I mean, the important thing when you're singing is like, don't like sing all out right away if you've not warmed up your vocal cords. I always tell people, it's kind of like when you're working out to like do sports, right? Like you don't all of a sudden like run a sprint without warming up and stretching. And so you wouldn't want to sing a song full out without having warmed up your cords. So just do. There you go. There you go. That's good. Okay. I mean, and if so variations on that is you can to kind of warm up your voice as you do. So you go up and then you go down. Yeah. Very good. You're a great student, Amy. You're ready. You're ready for the big leagues. And then the mi me mamo you normally I do this with a keyboard, but it's kind of you know, you're singing with like vowels and different vowels, and so it's kind of exercising the different vowel sounds and like really opening up your voice in that regard. So you would do mi me mamo mu. Mi, me, ma, mo, mu. Very good. So even nice and rounder and even over enunciated a little bit. So like mi, me, ma, mo, mu. Mi, me, ma, mo, mu. Very good. So yeah, so normally we would have keyboard and we'd go up the scale and go back down again and kind of work on that. And so that's a good one just to kind of work on rounding out your vowel sounds in terms of, you know, singing. So yeah, there you go. Crash course in singing.
Yeah, Larissa has some awesome videos, tutorials with Expert Village.
Yeah, and I'm planning
on her
to do
YouTube channel.
And I'm planning to do some more, you know, videos.
So you also have two things that you really, really like.
I do.
What are they?
Really, really like is kind of an understatement. I love Garfield and I love penguins.
Why?
Like, well, Garfield's a cat with an attitude, and so, I don't know, I just always thought he's really cute, and I just think I know he's like a terrible example for kids because he's lazy and he eats too much and watches TV all the time and kicks dogs off the tables, but I just love Garfield, and yeah.
What are the personality traits of penguins, you'd say?
Well, they like to waddle. I think they're very community oriented. They generally hang out in like groups. Like they're not like cats where cats can just be independent, and so like they're just fun.
Reflects your personality?
I think so, probably. And then they're fun. I mean, they're kind of fun when they're swimming around in the ocean.
We have something for you, Larissa.
Oh,
we have a fluffy penguin.
I love him.
He's big and fluffy, so he's community oriented.
Oh, thank you.
He has a big heart for the community.
I love penguins. I will add him to my lovely connection. We'll have to name him something cute. Oh, and he's got purple eyes, which is my favorite color. I love purple.
Oh, and purple fins.
Oh, purple flippers. Yay. Thank you so much. This is so cute.
Of course.
I love penguins.
So I also want to thank you for giving away some CDs. We're going to have a giveaway for Larissa's new album, Love and Discovery. We're going to have a little bit more details about the giveaway in our next video. So I want to thank you so much. Support welcome. Larissa's album, Love and Discovery. It's awesome. Hear that powerful, soulful voice.
Yeah, I mean it's a mixture of you know, pop, dance, you know, EDM, some really good up-tempo songs. My first single is called "I Feel Alive." That's playing in the clubs right now, and but there's also a little bit of jazzy stuff, and there's the R&B, like soulful, you know, stuff.
Nice.
So yeah.
With that, let's toast to tea.
Toast to tea. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much, Larissa.
Well, thank you for having me.
It was so awesome to get to know you. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences and being a good role model to young women out there. Thanks for watching Amy Lou Presents, and we'll see you in the next video.